busiest day of the week, the busiest day of the month continues. Welcome in, everybody. Apologies for being a little bit late today. As you know, producer man just keeps going. He never shuts up. Boy, do we have a lot to get to today. Now, if you're brand new to the Coach and Bro Show, we do it twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. This episode is a live recording of our Stadium Network show, which airs on Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and re-airs Thursday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. So we'll welcome you in, then we'll do the recording, and we'll get to some other stuff as well. But let's bring in my partner, because I can't do this all by myself. It's called the Coach and Bro Show for a reason. And my partner, the greatest wrestling writer in the history of the business from russosbrand.com. Let's welcome in Mr. Vince Russo. Good afternoon, sir.
What is going on, Coach? I know you're all hopped up, all souped up for 37 hours of SummerSlam this weekend, bro. Yeah, there's not enough hours in the day, Coach. We need more SummerSlam. Yes.
I just caught wind. Part of the reason that we're late, we're getting some breaking news. And I was like, I could do without that one. The only good news, Vince, the only good news is that it's starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I am flying most of the day on Saturday home for my PFL event. Shout out PFL. And so I won't have to watch the, count 'em, not one, not two, 3-hour pre-show. But not just one day, Vince. Both days, 6-hour What are we? This is not the Super Bowl. This is not the Super Bowl. What are we doing?
Well, Coach, I mean, and again, it's not just WWE. I mean, it is just overkill. It is just overkill with wrestling in general. It's not just the WWE. It's across the board.
I think we become the beacon from wrestling fans out there. I think I feel a shift, because I don't know if you've seen the numbers for our last episode. Did you see the Hulk Hogan episode that we did on Thursday?
You were smartening me up before the show. I was very pleasantly surprised.
Almost 30,000 views on that episode. It's been amazing. Almost 400 new subs. So there's a lot of you out there brand new. We welcome you. Everybody is welcome here. You're going to have a good time, educate, entertain. So Vince, on Mondays, we do it a little bit differently than we do it on Thursdays. Tell the good people how they can be a part of it, but we do it at the end of the show, but they can send them throughout.
Yeah, guys, we love you to be a part of the show, man. We like the show to be interactive, because you guys bring a point of view to the show that maybe the coach and I don't see. So through a super sticker or a donation, we will bring your questions or comments on the screen and make you a part of the conversation.
You're damn right. So we have a lot to get to. We're talking celebrities. We're talking Hulk Hogan. We're talking Ric Flair. We're talking Drew McIntyre stuck not in the United States. So Vince, you ready to go?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Producer man, roll tape. Let's do it. Oh, you know what time it is. It's time for the Coach and Bro Show right here on the Stadium Network and everywhere that Stadium is. Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV, Roku, LG, Vizio. We are available in over 100 million homes, and we are every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and then repeated Thursday mornings at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We are on the brink of the second biggest event of the year in the WWE. We call it SummerSlam. For the first time, is a 2-night event, and there is some drama going on surrounding the event. There's also drama going on around Ric Flair, Tiffany Stratton, and also we will reveal our numbers and how the WWE dealt with the death of the icon, Hulk Hogan, at the age of 71. Let's go ahead and bring in my partner. He's here every time we do this show. Can't do without him. The greatest writer of all time in the wrestling industry, Mr. Vince Russo. Hello, sir.
Coach, I heard a rumor about you today. You know, they all come to me now because it's the Coach and Bro Show. The coach is my partner. So they all come to me. Vince, is it true?
Okay.
And I always say, listen, I can't answer for the coach, so I'm going to go to him directly.
What did I do now?
Now, Coach, this Thursday is a holy day if you are a baseball fan. It is the trade deadline. this Thursday.
July 31st.
Yes, it is. And the trade deadline we look forward to every year. Who's going to make it? Who's not going to make it? The trade deadline is huge.
Yes.
Somebody approached me and they said, Vince, I heard a rumor. Now, we know the coach is a legend on ESPN, PFL. You know, he's Mr. Sports. Somebody actually said that you look more forward to the Raw SmackDown draft and who's going on what show, then you do the MLB trade down. And I said, no, that can't be. That can't be. I said, hey, I'm going to ask the man himself. Coach?
I hate to admit this, but alas, I do. I do look forward to the Raw and SmackDown draft coming and going. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Coach, I got to ask you a question. Were you part of that draft?
I was a player to be named later a couple of different times. I got thrown in. They'd come back from commercial break. Oh, during the commercial break, these 5 were drafted, and there was my mugshot. Oh, yeah. I just went from Raw to SmackDown. Absolutely nothing. Oh, God, it's the dumbest thing in the world. Either you tell me it's a show or you tell me you want to treat it like real sports. You can't have it both ways. And I know for a fact they're doing it in September.
Coach, I always said, as a writer, I'm going to tell you again, as a writer, if this were me, I am not kidding you, I would have the executives there from USA. I would have them there from Netflix. I would let them draft. It's their show. They're paying for it. Let them draft who they want on their team and let the writers deal with it, Coach.
Vince. How many times have I told you stop making sense? We don't do that in wrestling these days. You got to stop it. Coach, now, I would love to see those same network executives from Netflix that were up in the 3rd level. Apparently, they couldn't get better seats for the night number 1 when Rock was like, where are you? Where are you? Love to see them and then be able to interview them and slide in a quick question. So did you really think that the numbers would be where they are after 7 months? Oh, we're so excited about where the numbers are at. I mean, think about it. We got a 9.5-year runway. Well, guess what? So do we here at the Coach and Bro Show. That's a really good thing about the 10-year deal. Because what do you think their honest answer would be if they were happy with the way things are right now?
Well, I guess you're alluding to, I guess the head of Netflix made a glowing statement about how happy they are with, and I'm like, listen, man, okay, maybe they're happy. But, Coach, I don't know how you neglect 5.9, 2.6, 6 months. I don't now know how you can ignore that and give a statement with how happy you are with what they're bringing to the table.
You clearly didn't look at the entire statement. He said, we're so happy with the launch of Happy Gilmore 2. and everything else. We're ecstatic. Thank you, Adam Sandler. Thank you. Do you know how much he got for that movie? Which it's an interesting way to do, and we'll talk more about MJF coming up in about 45 minutes. But when you do a movie for Netflix, it's not like a movie for the theater where you make your money back from ticket sales. So they have to gauge the value. What do you think? And then Sandler has to make the movie. So it's kind of like paying for Raw, and then, what do you get out of it?
Right.
So he gets the check, and then he has to make the movie, and then he makes what's ever left. How much do you think they paid him for Happy Gilmore 2?
Gosh, if I... 20 million?
Are you serious right now?
How much?
275.
Oh.
He has to pay for the movie also, Vince.
Okay.
He has to pay for the production.
Okay.
I
thought just him you were talking about. Yeah. So they give him that money to make the movie, and he's got to pay for everything involved.
Correct. So it's a reverse now than it used to be, where all right, because a lot of guys would take the back end. Like Rock would take the back end, let the movie make $200 million, they get a percentage. Now it's the reverse when these streaming services. This is, I think, the biggest movie. I think they've done a $250 million movie, but I don't know. But we'll talk about it coming up later in the show. We got a lot to get to, Vince. And our Hulk Hogan episode was the biggest one we've ever had by far. And there was so much interest from his passing, certainly iconic. And I wanted to start with he's still getting a lot of press. And the WWE on Friday night did what they normally do with a fallen wrestler who's been a part of the WWE, the 10 bell salute, a package that was voiced over by Triple H. And I thought paid him the respect that in the wrestling world he deserves. What did you make of what they did for Hulk on Friday night?
I thought they did a nice job with it. I really did. Man, I have to tell you what really stood out to me was, Jimmy Hart. Because if there's one guy that was really tied to Hulk for over 4 decades, it was Jimmy Hart. So your mind and your heart has to go there. I thought they did a good job with it, but again, Coach, I don't mean to nitpick, and I don't mean to, be lowbrow, but Triple H with the voiceover again. You know what would have been tremendous, Coach? Now, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because everybody says I pick on them. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe it was a timing issue because I'm sure a lot of people flew in that day for the show. But when you've got Ted DiBiase standing there, when you've got Sergeant Slaughter, when you've got people there that Hulk actually worked with, I would have given them all a piece of that voiceover. But again, I want to point out that would have took some time, that would have took some planning, and I'm sure a lot of those guys flew in that day. But if you would have let the actual talent that worked with Hulk take parts of that voiceover, man, I thought it could have been really cool.
I think it would have been really, really neat to have that. You could have had, I'm just picturing now, like Jimmy Hart's voice narrating that.
Right.
And I think it goes to the bigger issue that every time something big happens for the company, it's Triple H that's doing it. And when you're the head of the company, it's not something that you do. You let your talent do it. You do what feels good. And that would have felt good. We had Ted DiBiase on my radio show on Sirius, and he couldn't tell enough good stories about his direct interaction with the Hulkster and some of the matches and things that went down. So I don't think you're nitpicking. I think you think of things from an elite level. I think you think of things from a production standpoint different than a lot of other people. That was the easy thing to do. The easiest thing to do is walk in and say, hey, we have this amazing package, probably cut by Adam Panucci, who's legendary at the company. And, Triple H, can you walk into the truck and just voice it over? That's the easy thing to do. And it also plays to how much did they want to do for him? How much was he still a part of the company in their mind after everything that's happened in the last year and a half? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows how they feel about him directly right now?
Coach, I want to put you on the spot. I just want to prolong this a little bit. I know we got a lineup, but I really want to hear your opinion on this. Okay. The way you laid that out, Triple H is constantly out there as the head of the company. And we know it was the complete opposite with Vince. Vince only did, we could probably count on one hand how many interviews Vince did. It was always the talent. Put the talent out there. Let the talent get the pub. Let the talent get the rub. What do you think Triple H's mindset is that makes it so much different from Vince, where he has to be in the forefront of all of these things? I mean, obviously, we're not going to know that. We're just guessing. What would you think, Coach?
I think right now he is and always has been one of the boys. And when you're one of the boys, you're about yourself. Yeah. Rarely do you hear, man, that guy was completely unselfish. I've told him many times the day he walked into the production meeting the first time in a suit and tie, we thought we were seeing a ghost. We're like, what the hell is this? Because you never put one of the boys in a production meeting to be in charge of their own storyline. That's just something you don't do. And so now I think you combo that with the fact that there's so much turmoil going on. And you hear all of these rumors out there of Triple H being hung out to dry. You don't hear anything from the TKO side. Then all these different things are happening. Well, if he's the head of the company, I think he likes to do things that he's seen in a positive light. And not the turmoil over here, not the ticket sales. I don't have anything to do with that. I'm dealing with this over here. Moving WrestleMania. I'm not dealing with that. I was on top of the stadium doing the promo saying, hey, come on back. I was cool. I looked cool. And I think that he's also pressed in his mind because I can't imagine having sports taken away from me, all these shows taken away from me. It's happened a few times. But I think Triple H is terrified at the thought of if this goes away from me in my mid 50s when I still have 25, 30 years to go, what do I have?
Yeah.
What do I have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do
Yeah.
I have? What is he without wrestling? What is he without the power? And I'll be honest. I'm always honest on the show. I don't know if I would act that much differently when it comes to my mindset, but I'd also say, you know what? This is what Vince taught me. You don't always have to be out front to get the rub. You don't. And sometimes you can be better when somebody else sounds better, is better. And I've learned all this also. It's not always the best for me to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not always the best for me to do it. And it's not always the best for Triple H because right now they need stars. And you also have a chance to pay homage to an OG with somebody else who was an OG. Triple H wasn't even around in 1983.
Yeah. Man, it's interesting because he's married to Stephanie. And, Stephanie grew up on her father's philosophy. This is completely different. I would love to know how she feels about that, what she thinks about that. But like Coach said, let's make one thing clear. Any wrestler in that spot would be doing the same thing.
100%.
There's no question about it. Wrestling is me, myself, and I. You could put anybody in that spot, they do the same thing.
I would be. You talk about a good reality show. I know that we're taping this on Monday. So on Tuesday, and we'll talk about it on the Thursday show, we have the first episode of Unreal. Do you know what would be a really, really incredible reality show? Is to see these real discussions with executives and Triple H when all these things are made. And who told Triple H to do it? I would love to see that on camera. Did somebody call from TKO and say, hey, Triple H, we'd like you to do this? Or was it his decision? Was it his decision that Stephanie gets not one, but two different shows? One for Fanatics, one for ESPN. They're the same thing, interviewing celebrities.
Yeah, Coach, I'm just afraid, and I've said it before, I think they are going to expose themselves with this Unreal show and not even realize it because they showed us a clip a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, and it was such a worked scene. And I was watching this scene, and I was like, you guys really believe me to think this was organic?
There's only 2 seconds in the whole trailer that has to do with the writer's room, which is what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take our first quick break. When we come back, Ric Flair sounding off on Tiffany Stratton. We're going to play it for you and tell you what he said. Also, Drew McIntyre stuck in England and what's going on with AEW. 8 belts, Mercedes. I'm here. What are we talking about? This is the Coach and Bro Show right here on Stadium. All right, you crazy kids. I see those super stickers coming in. We'll get to all of them at the end of our show, so you guys be very patient. Keep them coming, and let's rock it like we always do. Segment number two. Can't even talk today. Coming at you right here, right now. All right, welcome back, everybody. Coach and Bro Show here on Stadium with the Coach and Vince Russo, getting closer and closer to SummerSlam this weekend. The first two-nighter hosted by Vince Russo's favorite hip-hop star, the one and only Cardi B. When did Cardi B become your favorite?
Coach, I have to say this, though. I never put anything over, ever. People say you don't put anything over. I swear I really, really enjoyed the first segment of SmackDown when we had Orton out there and Jelly Roll and McIntyre and Logan Paul. And I'm watching this and I'm enjoying it. But then it occurs to me, Coach, there's only one small problem with this.
What?
2 of the guys weren't wrestlers. so you literally have 2 non-wrestlers outperforming every other wrestler on the show. That's not good, Coach.
And I know the guys backstage, and I know that they get very, very, very jealous when somebody that's a non-wrestler takes their time. It may not affect their money, but long-term it could by exposure. I would have no issues because I like to look at things as subjective and objective. And when I look at Jelly Roll and I look at Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul, I have no issues with Logan Paul. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's a better worker than most of them, but he's technically a part-timer. Now, Jelly Roll was recently on one of Stephanie McMahon's 8 shows that she does now. Because as we know, she is a high-level Oprah Winfrey, Barbara Walters style of interviewer.
Now, does she do a 3-hour pre-show before the regular show? So is it 4 hours, Coach?
I think that they could run in Stephanie's Places or whatever the other one is. But she sat down with Jelly Roll. And the one thing I will tell you, because he was talking about, he pulled the curtain all the way back. He was unreal. He was talking about Undertaker, Kevin Owen, without the S, Sami Zayn, all these guys coming down. He's moved to Florida. And this is a guy that performs almost every night. He's on American Idol. So I give him so much credit, Vince, because he truly wants to do this. He threw a better punch to Logan Paul than half the boys throw every single week on Raw and SmackDown because he's been working at it. And he told a story to Stephanie about how, and I can only imagine what Vince would have done, that a year ago when he did something, he walked back and they're right in the middle of the show. And he goes up to Triple H and says, I want to do this. This is something I want to do. And Triple H looks at him and says, this is according to him, in the middle of producing the show, if you do your job, then we'll do ours. Meaning you got to, get another 100 pounds off, which he has done. And then he went back and said, yeah, let's do it. And that's how they came up with this idea. He went on to say, Vince, he doesn't want this to be a one-off. Mm-hmm. He wants to keep doing it. And his schedule would allow, because Monday nights guys don't world tour on Are you shocked at how into it Jelly Roll has been?
Well, that's real interesting, Coach, because I don't think we planned on talking about this. But when we look at the Jelly Roll situation, how much into it was not Travis Scott? We're now reading about what happened with Travis Scott, which is the complete opposite of what has happened with Jelly Roll.
What are you hearing? That he just didn't want to practice?
Yeah,
they set him up, right?
I'm hearing that it started with, he's buddies with good old Ari, and it was something he wanted to do, and Ari got him in. Hey, Ari's going to get in whoever he wants to get in.
Of course.
No bones about it. But once he got in, he didn't take it seriously. He wouldn't commit to the bit. It was way, way too much work, and he just dropped out. And, man, when you think about that, man, that's egg on the face of the WWE. Because, Coach, they got to know what they're working with. I mean, Jelly Roll and Travis Scott are two completely different people. You've got to sit down with these individuals beforehand and know their temperament and know what you're dealing with.
So you're shocked that the first time Travis Scott hit the ropes that he didn't go, yeah, let's keep doing that. First body slam, yeah, let's keep doing that. The dude's a $140 soaking wet. And when Drew McIntyre goes on Impulsive with Logan Paul and rips Travis Scott to shreds, it's a shoot. Yeah. That would never happen in any other world. So Travis Scott, tip of the cap, you did the Raw theme song, but just like every other little tiny musician, you couldn't take it. You couldn't handle it. Even when they sent you a ring to your house. Now, Vince Russo, speaking of Drew McIntyre, not only did he rip Travis Scott, but he's one of the only ones that does this. So he released a video on Monday morning, and he had gone back to England for a wedding of a buddy. So then they're coming back to the United States, getting ready for SummerSlam. He can't get back in the country. So he's stuck in England as we speak. Now, I would assume the WWE could just call up President Trump and take care of business. Who knows? But The Miz then put out a video and said, hey, if he can't make it back to the States, I'll step in. I'm the one that found Logan Paul and brought him to you all. So we could have a substitute step in. But Drew McIntyre, in classic Drew McIntyre fashion, at the end of the video, he says, I'm starting to think Jelly Roll had something to do with this. And I'm like, Drew, I love you. But can you imagine Jelly Roll having the pull, the stroke, the audacity to be able to keep a human being out of the United States?
Coach, do we know what the real issue is? Do we know what problems he's having? Do we know? Is there any word out there?
What I've kind of gotten from I watched the video 2 or 3 times is it almost sounds, because he's hard to understand sometimes, that he forgot his American passport, but had his English one. Again, I don't want to say
Right.
too much about it, but that's the because they let his wife go. His wife, because they said we have animals at home, we've got to go take care of them. They let his wife through and made him stay. Why? I have no idea. I have no
Yeah.
idea. But to try and he makes everything part of a storyline, which I love about him, because at least he's trying to make it a show when he's not on the show. So I appreciate that. But the thought of Jelly Roll going, hey, Prez, I got this big matchup coming up on Saturday. I really don't want a dude that looks like that beating the absolute dog shit out of me. So could you keep him in the UK till, I don't know, Monday? And let's make that happen. I don't see that happening.
That's going to be the first episode of Unreal. We're going to actually see that phone call, Coach.
I'm actually, this is what I'm predicting will happen. Is after the show airs Tuesday night, and knowing how great you are, my guess is that your head is going to pop off your shoulders. You're going to have such a migraine from watching that show that you will not be here on Thursday to do this show. That's my prediction.
Listen, the one thing with me is, and I think I speak for all true wrestling fans, the Nick Totoro wrestling fans, don't insult our intelligence, man. That's all. For some reason, the WWE thinks their fans are just so stupid. And listen, some are. There's no doubt about it. Some are. I don't think those that are singing along with wrestlers are cooking on all four burners, if you want me to be honest. But there's also some of us that have a brain and don't just create fiction and have us believe it's real, because that'll just be the most insulting thing, Coach.
So let me ask you this. I'm so glad that you brought that up, because sometimes, and this is the beauty of the wrestling business, when you can use real life events to either hide things, make us think about things, and then use them to your advantage. And what I mean by that is last week, the last 2 days and the entire weekend, it was all about Hulk Hogan. And so nobody brought up, is Seth Rollins really injured anymore? And the last time we kind of picked up that storyline, a lot of people thought, well, this might be a work. Now let's fast forward. We've almost been a week. We've heard nothing from Seth Rollins other than hosting the Rich Eisen show, which is getting ready to start on ESPN here in the next few days. And so since we haven't heard from him, haven't seen him, and we'll see if anything happens on Monday night, but I doubt that it will. Do you think that they'll put the main events on Saturday and Sunday, both world title matches, so we at least have the illusion that maybe Seth Rollins will show up, cash in the Money in the Bank, and become a champion on either side of the fence? Because if you don't put them as a last match, it could be kind of a wah if he does do that. What do you think?
Yeah, you have to put them at the last match. And, again, listen, Coach, as a writer, I pulled some works. I mean, there's no question about that. But the works went someplace. The works meant something. I'm going to go back to the R-Truth incident when, Triple H is sitting there, again, talking about insulting our intelligence. It was part of the show. Oh, so the master plan was that in 3 weeks, R-Truth was just going to become another wrestler on the roster. That was Triple H's master plan. I don't mind them doing it if there's a real payoff that means something. But Coach, it has to make sense.
Vince, I need to ask you a question. And I'm serious when I ask you this question, so I want a serious answer. Are you enjoying the show?
Loving it, Coach. Loving it. And I can't wait to talk about that Tiffy topic.
I keep going back to that night. Was that real? Or was that... Are you enjoying the show?
Yeah.
Please stop acting like you had this grand plan to have R-Truth change his hair, had a T-shirt made, had him wrestle John Cena, and get a release and brought back. All in a 10-day... You're not that good. You're not that good.
But Coach, here's the kicker. He really believes he is. Triple H really believes he's fooling everybody. And yes, you are fooling some of the people. But people that have been watching this for a very long time, brother, you ain't fooling anybody, man.
It's going to be very, very interesting to if the Seth Rollins thing is a work, if it is, and they play it out like it, I can't wait for that press conference. Cannot wait for that press. Are you enjoying the show? that one, we used Goldberg for that one.
Yeah.
How about that? We allowed LA Knight at plus 450. There's a lot of pissed off people that bet on Seth Rollins, but did you enjoy the show?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're only about halfway home. On the other side, Ric Flair going in on Tiffy time. Very interesting. We'll discuss. Also, Brie Bella gives us a reason why she's not in the WWE, but her sister is. We'll discuss it, having a great time, as we always do, getting through the end of July, heading towards football, heading towards SummerSlam. That's exactly what we do. It is the Coach and Bro Show, as always, right here on Stadium. All right. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I see a lot of those super stickers coming through. So keep them coming, and we will get to those as soon as the show ends. Oh, producer man. Oh man. I love getting stuff from 1 second. Have you ever wondered if we didn't have producer man what our lives would be like?
Yeah, it would be a train wreck. Let's just be
it would be a disaster. An absolute disaster.
Yes.
All right, let's get to it. Segment number 3. You guys at home, absolutely amazing. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to the Coach and Bro Show here on Stadium. We are about halfway home, and we are counting down to SummerSlam this week. We're going to take a little bit of a right turn. We know that Charlotte Flair will be a part of SummerSlam, teaming up with Alexa Bliss, that whole little big sister, little sister thing they're trying to get over on us. It is what it is. But Vince, I got to tell you, before we came on the air today, it came across my phone from Producer Man that Ric Flair was doing an interview, and he was asked about the whole Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair promo segment that turned into a shoot. The same interview, Vince, that Charlotte already said, man, I was surprised because I thought the two things were separate. Ashley Flair had 3 divorces. Charlotte Flair has none. So it's a very muddy thing. But Ric Flair, who was very did you see Rick, by the way, how emotional he was last week with Hulk? I didn't know they were that close. I guess I was a little bit surprised on that. So here's his quote, Vince, about that particular thing and for Tiffany Stratton. Ric Flair, quote, I'm embarrassed for her. I'm not going to say anything else. That was the cheapest stuff of my life. Whatever it was hurtful. If it was a shoot, that's even worse. That's something you don't joke about. End quote. What do you make of that?
No yeet.
I'm going to tell you what I think, Coach. Guys, one thing you have to learn about wrestlers, and Coach will tell you this, they don't sell. They don't sell anything. They don't sell what is going on in their personal lives. They don't sell if they're injured. They don't sell if they're hurt. They don't sell if they're depressed. They don't sell if they're not feeling well. They don't sell anything. So the point is, Charlotte went through 3 divorces. Think about that, man. That would be tough for anybody. She's looking at her father, who kind of went down the same path. Very, very, very hard situation. I promise you, she's not selling that in the back. She's not letting anybody know how much of an effect that really has on her. Wrestlers don't sell.
Mm-hmm.
So now here comes Tiffy, and let's face it, not really that experienced. And Coach, we saw the weeks before in interviews where Charlotte ate her lunch backstage. We all commented on it. It was, Tiffy was the old Ralph Cramden, humna. She didn't know what to say. So in Tiffy's mind, next time I go out there, coach, now I'm going to be prepared. So Charlotte was eating her up again. And then Tiffy dropped that card, I really believe, thinking it was no big deal because Charlotte's not selling it. She's not, backstage depressed and wearing her emotions on her sleeve. That's not what wrestlers do. So, not reading the room properly, that was Tiffany's zinger back. But I don't think she had any idea whatsoever how much it was affecting Charlotte and how much that comment would have really hurt her. I don't think she did anything intentionally or viciously at all. I think really, coach, it's just really inexperience and not being able to read the room.
Yeah, I was going to use 2 words, learning lesson. Because when you're young and you want to make a name for yourself and you say, how do I stick out? Well, sometimes maybe I'll take a chance here. Maybe I'll do something maybe a little bit off script. It would be impossible for me to believe that any writer wrote that for her to put into a promo. Yeah. I just, because everything a writer writes in the WWE gets printed out, gets approved. They write as a team, and most of them are 25 or younger and scared of their own shadow. I think it would. So I do believe you that she didn't know, but also I think that we grew up in a time where the old man, Vince McMahon, used to love mixing and blurring real life with character life. And that made it the most real. That made it the most, oh, man, I can't believe she went down that road. But the one thing he would always do, call both people in.
Absolutely.
And say, if we're going to do this, we both have to be on board with it.
Absolutely.
And Charlotte clearly wasn't on board with it. And Rick clearly didn't think Charlotte was on board with it. But I can think of many storylines where Vince was like, this is too good not to use this. Yeah. But both people have to be on board, or he would force both people to be on board. But they both knew it. They both knew it. And that,
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I just think it was bad judgment on her part because wrestlers just don't sell.
Yeah, I'm a big Tiffany Stratton fan. I think she's got a huge upside. I think that she is going to be an absolute star, and I think there's a little bit of jealousy there. I'm starting to feel that Charlotte's not getting the push that she thought she was going to get. And let's be honest, she's in a tag team match at SummerSlam with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me when she came back at the Royal Rumble and she went out there and got all that pop and she talked about, I can't believe are you rooting? And now 7 months later, you're in a tag team match. Everybody knows when you're a single star, tag team doesn't mean that much unless you're Roman Reigns.
And again, coach, that's the tail wagging the dog because they did not expect her to get that type of response. And when the response kind of went a little bit against the grain, they didn't know what to do with it. Now she's in a tag team.
There you go. There you go. There you go. This week, it'll be night number 1.
Did you enjoy the show, Coach? That Charlotte Flair is now in a tag team. Did you enjoy that, Coach?
Now, there's another now former WWE diva that is in the news. And Nikki and Brie Bella, which, by the way, I was just actually in their studio. They taped their show at the Sirius XM studios in Hollywood. I don't know if you knew that. But I walked in, I was like, this set looks kind of familiar. They're like, oh, yeah, this is where Nikki and Brie Bella do their show. I guess, oh, that's why it looks familiar. So on her show, she was talking about why her sister's back in the WWE, but not her. Here's what she said, Vince. Quote, I know my roadblock is the fact that my husband is with a rival company. For some people, it makes them uncomfortable at WWE, thinking I would be there when my husband is with AEW. I've kind of looked at that roadblock as people have the right to feel. People feel uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. That's okay. They have that right. Does it bum me out at times that I wish feelings were different? Absolutely. But it doesn't make me angry or bitter. There's been many times where husbands or people that date each other are in separate companies, and it hasn't been a big issue. Do you think there's something to what she is saying? Because Bryan Danielson, let's be honest, he's kind of on his way out of his career. He's only got a short time left, if at all. Do you buy into this?
Coach, this is real interesting because Bryan Danielson has been taking some shots at the WWE. He recently took one where he was talking about the night of WrestleMania when he won the title. It was kind of bittersweet, and he talked about he was marrying Brie in a couple of days and they wouldn't let her in the ring for the celebration. He was talking, negatively about the WWE, and I'm just like, brother, if your wife is trying to go back there because her sister is back, you're not really helping out the cause. But here's the bottom line, Coach, and you know this. If they really wanted Brie Bella would be in the WWE. It's that simple. They're not. She's in their eyes, she's not a commodity. Otherwise, she'd be there.
There's no question. And I've also heard rumors where I never know. Sometimes I get got on these. That's why I put rumors and I say dirt sheets. And that's why when Dirt Sheet Dan is gone, I feel kind of naked inside because you read these things. You're like, is it true? Is it not true? And that he basically said that WWE reached out to him recently and asked him not to do the yes chance anymore.
Right.
And if that's the case, petty. What do they care if he does the yes chance, something he invented over in W? Why do they care? I've never known Michael Jordan to care about what somebody else is doing.
Coach, that is so Bruce. That is so Bruce, going back to the 80s, man. When I hear things like that, I know that's Pritchard, man. That is so Bruce, and it is petty. Like we talked about the MJF stuff, right? They were promoting Happy Gilmore 2 on the WWE, and they cut out all MJF stuff.
Yeah.
Come on,
let's stop with that. We need one without MJF in it because there might actually be people that thinks he wrestles for or Becky. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's when networks stopped doing the whole. Remember the old days like NBC would only show the football games on NBC, and Fox, and then they realized how stupid are we?
Yeah.
And now networks will allow talent to do multiple jobs because they realize I can pay them less, they can make more over here, and nobody gives a shit. Somebody should tell that to wrestling companies. Nobody cares.
Right.
Other than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Other than them.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. So, but I will say this, Nikki Bella got a clean win over Chelsea Green. And then I'm a huge Chelsea Green fan. She had some negative stuff happen with her this week when she put out a reaction to Hulk. I actually did not see it, but she said she's going to quit social media for a while. And I'm like, oh, my God, how nasty must these people have been for her to say, you know what, I'm going to stop. I'm just going to stop. And that sucks. Again, I didn't read what she wrote, but I wrote her reaction to
Coach, she just, like everybody else, she just made some positive comments about Hulk Hogan. She was just being Chelsea, and she was just being nice, and she was just being respectful. So she made some positive comments about Hulk. But, God, Chelsea, do not let them win. That's a win. That's a win for them and a loss for us. That's a loss for everybody. I used to look forward to her daily tweets. Always used to put a smile on my face, Coach. We talked about them all the time on this show. Don't let them win, man. She is a shining bright light. We need more Chelsea Greens.
Yes.
Don't let them put out your light.
And scream that same line to them when they say Nikki Bella's going over you tonight. What? Don't let them win.
Yeah.
How does that happen? Yeah. I know she's an OG. Believe me, there's not a bigger Nikki Bella fan out there but I separate the two. How in the world do they make Chelsea Green, an in her prime superstar, lose to Nikki Bella, who's back for 2 weeks?
Coach, she made the bulletproof. She's got the bulletproof label now. No matter what she does, she's going to stay over.
All right. Coming up next, if you've never had 8 belts around your, everything, you just haven't been a champion. It's Coach and Bro right here on Stadium. All right. What an incredible chat we have today. The number is gigantic. You guys are amazing. We'll get to all of your super stickers. We're going to wrap up our stadium recording right here, right now with 10 more minutes. You guys are, just crazy. I can't tell you how much it means to me and Vince. All right, here we go. Bringing it home. All right, the Coach and Bro rolls on here on Stadium. And Vince, two big things came out of AEW this week. And the first one, a huge positive, because Happy Gilmore, I'm flying to Atlantic City. I have a big PFL event there this week, and I'm going to binge watch Happy Gilmore. But I've been watching a ton of clips. I follow the Vince Russo school of watching shows. And MJF, not in it enough is the reaction that I've gotten from everybody. He was really good, kind of stole the show. He calls Adam Sandler a father figure. Mm-hmm. Adam calls him a son he never had, or maybe another son. But how much do you think that this movie could catapult MJF to acting, movies, TV shows, all that kind of stuff?
Well, that's where you have, I think, a Tony Khan disadvantage, because if this is Vince McMahon, we're catapulting this guy to the stratosphere. I don't know if Tony's a wrestling-minded guy. I don't know if Tony's a mainstream movie star, television star. We can get MJF out there to promote the product, because, Coach, I watched it. He did a tremendous job. He did an absolutely tremendous job. Was great. I don't know if Tony Khan is wired that way to think outside of wrestling.
They're only working one day a week. I mean, he goes to other smaller promotions, but he wouldn't have to do that. That, to me, if you get a rock star like that, you use him into the ground.
Yes.
Now, on the other side, speaking of stars, did you see this, Vince? I mean, I've got to eat crow. I've been wrong, because clearly I'm the only person in the wrestling universe that doesn't see the superstar that Mercedes Moné truly is. So she went to Primetime Wrestling, and she wrestled a young lady by the name of Diana Strong. And she won the Primetime Wrestling Women's Championship and the Bestia Wrestling Women's Championship at Primetime Wrestling, all about the Moné in Poland. She now has 8 belts, 6 different companies in 6 different countries. What do you make of this?
Coach, if I was writing, this is the first thing I'd say. And I'm sure some people have said this to Tony Khan. Here's the first thing I'm saying. Everything with wrestling is overkill. It's never enough. It's overkill. Because we got one little problem, Coach.
What's that?
She's got 8 belts, correct? The last you counted is 8 belts. Yeah. Okay, Coach, that means she's going to have 8 losses to lose those 8 belts. And that's what somebody has to say. Tony, you do realize we're going to have to beat her 8 times for her to lose those belts. You do realize that, right?
Vince. Why do I have to educate you all the time? She's going to make history. What are the odds of her actually going back to Poland to ever wrestle again? She's never defending that belt. She's going to retire that belt. She's going to be the John Cena of our generation. She's going to ruin wrestling by going to every country in the world. I mean, she still has space on her legs.
Oh, God.
She can put one around her neck. She can go at least 3 more. At least 3 more.
Wrap one around that face? Absolutely, Coach. Sorry, Coach.
I'm gonna let that one breathe for a second.
Why is everything overkill in wrestling? 3-hour pre-shows, 19 belts. Like, what are we doing, Coach? Coach, when Nick Aldis at the end of SmackDown, when he announced there's going to be an 18-team TLC match, you know what the first thought of my head is? Honestly, first thought of my head is great. And how many guys are going to get hurt in that match? First thought in my head, you're going to put 6 teams out there with all this gym equipment. Do you know how many guys are going to come out of that match hurt?
Well, probably a lot, because they're all going to try to outdo one another. They're all going to think my spot is on the line. And
exactly.
It screams to me that they had plans for other guys, didn't work out, and they're pivoting away from that, and they're trying to figure out, how do we do this in exciting fashion? And we'll see if it's exciting, because sometimes when you put that many teams in, it's one thing for 6 guys that are individuals, but when you have 12 guys, I mean, that's a lot of
That's
dudes.
that's a
That's a
lot
lot
of
of dudes.
people, a lot of furniture, a lot of risk for injury.
My goodness. So we'll see. We'll see. And that is the one that's the one match that I don't really know where they're going to put it, because it looks like to me the way that they have kind of stacked the 2 nights is that a lot of the championship, most of the championships are on Sunday, and then the rest of the card is on Saturday, including Drew McIntyre and also including Roman Reigns. And that'll be the last topic we hit on. We only got about 4 minutes left. Roman Reigns put out on social media, I actually thought it was kind of interesting how they did it. Instead of just making a tag team match, which we all thought was coming, he did on a treadmill, did a video. Jey Uso did a follow video, said "Yeet, let's go," and then Paul Heyman, the what does he call him,
The
the dumbass,
orifice,
the
the
dumbass.
orifice, the orifice, I think.
No, Roman calls him the dumbass.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the thing. So he gets out like he's walking into a building to have dinner or whatever, and then he accepts the match. Did you like the fact that they used social media 3 different ways to book that tag match, which I think should be the main event for Saturday night, but they'll probably put Gunther, and I'll turn it off 15 minutes early if that's the case.
Yeah. No, I listen, guys. I always say they don't get out of the building enough. They always cut the same promos in the back in the same space. They never give us different looks on the show, different creative. So every time, Coach, they go out of their norm, I applaud them because they need to do that more.
I could not agree more. And for Roman Reigns, he's the one guy, because if Rock comes back, I don't know what kind of reaction he's going to get, because a lot of people blame him for the last 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Good, right, indifferent, doesn't matter. They blame Rock for WrestleMania, especially the people that paid tens of thousands of dollars to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But when Roman Reigns comes back from 5 months off, he's the man. And what I like is he doesn't focus on that time by saying, I know I've been gone. He doesn't give it to them. He just walks back in and says, this is my yard. We're going to do it my way. I love that about his character, but it's also because he went through a lot of negatives early in his career to get to where he's main eventing WrestleMania, 8 or 10 times, whatever it's been.
Yeah. Which I do want to point out, Coach, it reminded me real quick, the brilliance of Logan Paul. Because we've said all along, Seth Rollins is a heel and he's still maestro with the crowd, which makes 0 sense whatsoever. When Logan Paul went out after the 10-bell salute and said, I heard you chant, we want Logan. I heard you chant. See, that's brilliant. That is and I promise you, nobody fed him that. That is brilliant.
It's an it factor that not many have. Roman has it from a main event standpoint. He understands the aura that he has. Logan Paul is getting there.
Yeah.
Logan Paul, I think eventually, once people get past the bullshit YouTube this, YouTube that, and really look at him, and he puts in another 5 years, 6 years, he's going to be seen as one of the great heels of all time. Of all time.
And what do great heels become?
Bigger baby faces.
Think about that. Think about that. That could be the future in 5 years.
No doubt about it. All right, we only have about 1 minute left. What do you expect? Because I have a feeling you're not going to be here on Thursday, so I need to ask you right now, just a hunch. What do you expect Saturday and Sunday? Because we're both going to be doing shows opposite each other.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man, because, with Gunther just going over Goldberg, which is a big win and a good push for Gunther, I don't know how they continue to beat CM Punk without people losing hope in him. You know what I mean? I mean, CM Punk, you can't keep going out there saying, I'm going to win, I'm going to win, I'm going to win, and you lose every time. Then people start losing faith. So that should be interesting to see how they play that out.
All right, that's going to be night number 1. We'll be here live. We have a show Thursday, and then also I'll be 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. On SiriusXM channel 156 on Saturday night after night number 1. Enjoy Unreal, sir. They made it for you. They made
Can't
it
wait.
for you.
Can't wait.
That's going to do it for this week's episode. Damn it, do I love doing this show. Again, we'll be back on Thursday. For Vince Russo, for Producer Man, I am the coach. This has been the Coach and Bro Show, as always, right here on Stadia. All right, you crazy cats. You've been so patient. Producer man just popping me full. Oh, Vince, I don't even know where to start here, pal. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I
I'll
saw
be
a
honest
lot of
with
them.
you.
I saw a lot of them coming up during the show. Thank you guys so much. But we really do love to hear what you have to say. That's a shoot.
Indeed, we do. All right, we'll start from back to front. Carl says, Coach, did you meet Russo in 1999 before he left the WWF? No, you and I never met.
Coach, I think we may have.
You think so?
I think there may have been a moment. I'm pretty sure there was.
What month did you leave in 1999?
September-ish.
Wow, I started August 24th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Coach, I think you were definitely at a show I was at.
Wow, I can't believe you were that forgettable.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Traffic Jam says Chelsea Green is a superstar that WWE buried. There's no question right now. She is persona non grata. They're burying her.
Bulletproof. She's got the Drew label. She's bulletproof. No matter what they do to her, she's gonna get herself over. That's the psychology when they book her, Coach.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Scott Woodford, he's been a premium member. That's another way you can get on the show for 5 months now. Happy Monday to both of you. Love the content. Keep it up. Love you guys. Scott, thank you for being a premium member. We appreciate that. Ringside with What a Day, Joe Lowry. I actually followed him on Twitter.
Joe's a good dude. I know Joe. He's a good dude, Coach.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. He said before the internet and social media, Hulk Hogan was the most popular man on the planet. SummerSlam spoiler, Liv Morgan appears and disrupts the Judgment Day, and a face turn with Dirty Dom. What a day. Now, both of the Judgment Day matches, I believe, are on Saturday. So this could work. It
could work, Coach, but is it too soon? I mean, she hasn't been off for that long. Didn't they say she was going to be off for a while?
Well, she's going to be out of action.
Right.
For a while. She can show up and listen to Coach and Bro and still have a piece of the show, even though
but you know they have a tendency that if somebody can't work, they're not on the show. I like what you're saying, Joe. I think it might be a little too soon, though.
Okay. Very, very good. Thank you, Joe. Carl says, you were my favorite coach in the WWE 2000s era, especially when you fell off the chair from the Kane entrance. That's probably my most iconic moment. That and me and The Rock in San Diego, but who's counting on that one?
I can't. What's so funny about that?
Brilliant. Yes.
Vince, remind me that we'll be looking for a new producer after the show today. Let's put that on LinkedIn, please. So it's funny. Kane was actually in New York last week, and he did the rounds at Sirius XM. So I interviewed him, and we got down to the bottom of it because people do not believe me that I did not know that was supposed to happen because I've been consistent. And I said, "What?" He goes, "As far as I know, you weren't." All that happened was Vince said, "Put your feet up on the table, act cocky, and mess with JR." That was a Tuesday for me. Right. I didn't think anything out of the norm. And so I did that. And as I'm talking, I mean, the timing was perfect. It was so hot and so loud. The backflip was real. It was real. Yeah. Luckily, I'm a great athlete, Vince, and I didn't hurt myself. Imagine if it was somebody like, I don't know.
And that shows you just, Vince's mindset, to get you all relaxed out there, totally take your mind off of it. And boom, he got the response he wanted.
I had the most fun when I turned heel and I was able to be a character. And when they put me on commentary to mess with JR, that was my most fun thing to do. And King loved it. Yeah. King would just sit there and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. And JR would get more and more pissed at me. All right, moving on. Patriots 12 says, who would you put WWE title on who's never won it? Interesting. I think Logan Paul at some point's got to be a champion. That's how you elevate people into that main event status, is put a title on them. Now, right now, all of the titles, Vince, in WWE are held by heels. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
So at some point, don't we need a babyface champion?
I would think so. We need an Austin-esque champion, and I think that's Killer Cross. And man, his contract's up, Coach, in days, literally days. In August, his contract is up, and it's going to be really, really, really interesting.
I hope they re-sign him. He's got a match Saturday, obviously, against Sami Zayn, who was supposed to be out for several weeks. He was out for a week. So Karrion Kross just put out a book. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah,
he's got a book, and he's doing book signings around New Jersey for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good for him.
You can't fire a guy that just put out a book.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
And they have. And they will.
Yeah, didn't they send CM Punk a letter on his wedding day or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
By the way, Drew McIntyre, I believe, wrote the foreword for Karrion Kross.
Very nice.
I think so. Nice. You guys have really good ones today. 45R5K says Charlotte should have pulled a Phil Brooks and choked her backstage and called WWE a joke. No, Ashley is professional. LOL. Most people are not going to give up their 6-figure salary over a backstage brawl because that's what would have happened. Well, I don't know. She might have survived it.
Yeah, it would have been interesting though to see what did happen after that promo. Now that should be on Unreal.
Do you think we'll see that?
No.
Not a chance. Double XL. Oh, somebody's been in my closet. Says, I'm an Attitude Era kid, but Hulk was always my guy, even over Austin. This is the first celebrity death that really hit hard. Part of your childhood really does die with the dude. It's rough. A lot of people have reacted that way, Vince. And, it's you and I are at ages now where I'm very reflective a lot of the times. Yeah. And I was 8 when I fell in love with wrestling and Hulk Hogan and Saturday Morning. So it has caused me to go back and try to think of a lot of the good times,
Yeah. Coach, what was really, really tough too? Man, we were coming right off the heels of Ozzy. That really made it more, you are talking about 2 icons. I mean, whether you like them or you don't like them, these are legends whose names will be remembered forever, back to back. People of this importance, one in music, one in sports entertainment. You don't experience that often.
And on a smaller level, and I don't want to call him less than, but Malcolm Jamal Warner was a big name too. He's on the Cosby Show. He's on a lot of different things, and that was right before Ozzy. So it was 3 in a week.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was 5.
What are the other 2?
The great Connie Francis, a little before your time, but a great, great, great Italian singer, and Chuck Mangione.
Gosh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I think he died the day after Hulk.
Yeah. Wow. So on Friday. Friday.
Yeah.
Golly, it needs to stop. Let's all live a little bit.
I know, man. Crazy. Too much.
It really too much. Silence is on fire. Says both of you are part of my childhood. Thank you. Silence on fire.
Thank you, man.
Really cool. Carl, wait a second. We've got a co-main eventer here, Vince. We have a co-main eventer.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. There's an A in front of it. That could be shekels or rubies or something like that. Yeah, there's an A in front of it, Coach.
Yeah, but do they have Carls in other countries?
That's a good question.
Interesting.
That's a good question, yes.
We'll treat it with respect regardless. You think the Benoit thing killed WWE becoming PG era woke, or was it the iPhone in 2007, which led to social media on smartphones? Ironic how both happened on June 2007. After 2007, society became woke, politically correct. I think there's some to that. I will say this. I haven't talked about this a lot, Vince, but the Chris Benoit thing happened the night I got married.
Wow.
The night I got married. And they had canceled all the house shows. I don't know if I've ever even told the story. I'll tell it now. They had canceled all the house shows because normally we go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Mm-hmm. And I got married in a town in Iowa called Pella. It's about 45 minutes outside of Des Moines. So everybody had to fly to Des Moines and then drive like an hour. So there was a lot of my friends. I mean, Hurricane was in my wedding. Big, who used to run Tough Enough, was in my wedding. There's a lot of, I would say, 15 to 20 WWE talent there. And so the house shows were Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And I still went to Raw on Monday because, again, regrettably, I was only allowed to miss one show. So in order to take 10 days on my honeymoon, I had to go to Raw on Monday, then leave on Wednesday for 10 days, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went to Corpus Christi, Texas, is where Raw was. And it was 3:00 in the afternoon. We all get called into the arena, which was very abnormal. And Vince was standing there. You could tell something was wrong. And then he broke the news. And this was 3 days after I got married. So whenever I think of that, I think of that almost the entire time. And here's the crazy part. This is going to give you chills a little bit. Is that we had a guest registry for our presents. And we had left the door open to our garage for the UPS guy or, you know what, just to put the gifts inside our house. And so my wife at the time drove back our car with presents in it. I went to Raw. We met back home. She calls me. She goes, when I told her what had happened, she goes, this is a little bit weird, but there's a present here from them. We had a present that we got after they had passed.
That's crazy.
It gave me chills. Absolutely gave me chills. You know, so
Coach, I have to ask you this question since you brought it up. What does Vince say?
What did he say to us?
Yeah.
So he lays it out. He was very emotional. Like he was his mouth was shaking, his voice was shaking, and he said, and he just kind of told the story. He said, "Hey, listen, Chris didn't show up Saturday to the house show, didn't show up Sunday to the house show. So Monday morning they sent the authorities over to the house to check on things, and that's when they found the scene. And so originally, and many people may not remember this, they canceled the show that night, and they did a tribute show."
Right, not knowing all the details. Yeah,
correct. And it was halfway through that they got the details, and they had to pivot on a dime. They went from, great guy to great wrestler.
Yeah.
Very similar to last week, if I'm being honest. Yeah. Very similar to last week. So it was incredible. It was incredible.
Coach, I got to tell you this. You'll get a kick out of this. I'm not going to get into it. We'll talk about it some other time. In my career in professional wrestling, I cut just two scathing promos on people. Scathing. Out of my mind, out of control, F-bombs, you name it. The first one was on J.J. Dillon at WCW. Do you know the second one was on at TNA?
At TNA? Hulk?
No. Your boy Big.
You and Big got into it?
I dressed him up and down. Coach, I never, ever spoke to anybody that way in my life. We'll talk about it on another show.
Wow. Yeah. Big. People don't know who Big is. Go back and watch the original Tough Enough. Wow. Interesting. I can't wait to hear that story, to be honest with you. I've got a couple of pretty good ones myself. Traffic Jam says there's no rivalry between WWE and AEW. Never was. I think that's always been a misconception too. It's kind of like with PFL. I tell the people I work with, we're not competing with the UFC. UFC's been around for 30 years. We've been around for 6. Same thing with WWE, 40, 50 years. AEW, 6. That's why if you and I were consulting with Tony Khan or we were in the room, hey, stop focusing on them.
Yeah.
Focus on what you do. Yep. And if you do good things, they will come.
Yeah.
They will come. But that's what so much is done the wrong way. By the way, DG says, hello, Coach. First time, long time. Would you ever write a book? I've actually thought about that. And I'm sure you've written a couple of different books.
I've got my third one coming out next summer, Coach.
Next summer?
Yeah, my third book. It's already written. It's in the hands of the publisher right now.
And what is the topic?
Total nonstop agony. And it starts when Bischoff and Hogan came into TNA.
I thought, sorry, I really thought I was going to start with my divorce, but hey, that's neither here nor there.
Very nice. Very nice.
I think that's all of the stickers that we have. No, wait a second. I didn't go up far enough.
Yeah, man. I think I saw a couple more. Yeah.
Here we go. Sorry. My goodness, I didn't go. Here we go. Sorry about that. Okay. WWE Unreal is tomorrow. Director Triple H. That's pretty funny. It does.
Are they going to roll credits at the end of this with Triple H being the only one? Come on, Coach.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
Can you imagine if it just says executive producer Paul Levesque and oh my God, what if it said Stephanie McMahon? Oh my God. Retro KG says Karrion Kross and Scarlett look and sound like killers.
Yes.
Wrong era for those two, unfortunately. I don't know why they wouldn't put them in a faction when she's the ultimate sidekick. When I look at her, I think of what Deborah used to be. I think of what Miss Elizabeth used to be.
Yeah.
And you get a 2-for-1. I mean, she is, with all due respect to the other divas in wrestling, she is it.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Absolutely.
I mean, the entrance, the look, the couple, the chemistry, it's everything, right? At least it is to me when I watch it.
Listen, man, I get Sable vibes with her, and you know what we did with Sable, man.
Oh my God.
I cannot believe they do nothing with her. I can't believe
nothing. That's crazy to me. Nothing. She's got it. She's got it. Brian KO2 says, Coach, do you forgive The Rock the Cabana song? You guys got to understand this. And I've had people, Vince, that will insult me on social media. What do you know? You're just the idiot that would do anything the WWE asked them to do. And you go and look, and it's their whole, rarely do I look, but their whole Instagram page is all wrestling crap. And then, Twitter, they follow and I'm like, you would cut off your left nut to be in the WWE and do anything, let alone stand next to The Rock. But you insult me for why would you dance? Why would you do that?
Coach, let me ask you a question, because I told you there was a long period I didn't watch because I was just working at TNA. Mm-hmm. Did you never had to do the kiss your ass gimmick, did you?
Came close. One of the 5 times that Vince fired JR, it was through the Kiss Your Ass Club. And he had to do it, and then he still got fired. And I was in the ring because it was the announce team. Me, King, and JR. But I put my foot down. I said, Vince, it'll be a cold day in hell before I join the Kiss Your Ass Club. But JR did it.
Yeah.
JR did it. God, I hated that thing.
I don't know if I could have done that, Coach. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know if I could have done that.
I'm certainly glad I was never asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And believe me, when they call you and say, hey, this is going to be the segment, you're like, and who's going over? In the wrong way? Patriots 12. Why does Royal Rumble and Hell in a Cell feel less prestigious? Back in the day, the Cell ended feuds. Now it just feels like a pay-per-view. Royal Rumble's supposed to be that kind of like the Sweet 16 in basketball before you get to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. That's what it's supposed to be, like setting things up. Hell in a Cell, he's right that in the old days, Vince, it was the biggest battles, and you get in there, and there's no way out. That's the way the Hell in a Cell was supposed to be.
Coach, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you a little history lesson here, because this pisses me off. Who do you think came up with the name The Hell in the Cell?
I'm guessing, since you are pissed off about it, was you?
Yes. And I'll tell you what pisses me off. This is what is it called? The Mandarian effect. What is that effect? The what effect am I looking for? You know what I'm talking about? What's the name of that effect?
I don't know, but it just sounded funny.
God, help me in the chat.
Mandela
effect.
Yeah, Mandela.
Guys, this is the Mandela effect in wrestling. Coach, I named it Hell in the Cell because the Cell was a character. It was the Cell. And somehow or another over the years, it became Hell in a Cell. So you could get any cell, Coach. It don't matter what cell you get. You could get any cell. No, it was the Cell. The Cell in itself was a character, And then they just made it to, Hell in a Cell. You can get any, go down to the hardware store. They'll build you a cell.
Boy, that's crap. I mean, I've never in my life of being a wrestling fan known a wrestling company, certainly at this level, to name two things the same. Oh, wait. There's evolution and evolution.
Yeah, evolution.
Oh, I guess it has happened before. My bad. We move on. By the way, that still baffles me that nobody else points that out but me. We're going to have an all-women's pay-per-view, and we're going to call it Evolution.
Yeah.
Trips, weren't you just a part of that group in 2004?
Yeah, crazy, man.
Apparently not. SummerSlam 2025, hosted by Cardi B, is laughable. You watch your language, Traffic Jam. You watch it. She's going to be serious. And the only thing, Vince, is I hope that she gets asked to name the attendance. It'll be a very Kim Kardashian moment, which I was there for.
Coach, if you had to guess what they were paying her, what would you guess?
Oh my God, Cardi B. Well, I know 20 years ago we paid Kim Kardashian over $25,000 to announce the attendance, which she couldn't do. So I'm going to guess that Cardi B has got to be at least 100.
Wow, really? I think that's cheap. I think it's way more than that.
Well, I think they're in New York. So she lives in New York. So I don't think she has to travel. Yeah. And I think she's been kind of off the radar a little bit. You know, it's not like she is front page news. She's not been on. So I think sometimes they approach people who need the
little rub,
kind of the Iggy, the little rub, little rub. You know,
makes sense. Yeah.
But I can't wait to see the reaction on social media on Saturday when they go, "Oh my God, her voice! Oh my God, her voice!" Because you know that's going to happen. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Smartest Mark alive, part of the original main eventers, says, forget baseball, Vince. Watch the AFL, Australian football, not rugby, and you can both be the next Adelaide Crows fans. I'm a big fan of Adelaide, by the way. Big fan of Adelaide.
Are you really?
Yeah. Watch them all the time. The games are like at 10, 12 o'clock in the West.
So what is the difference between Australian football and rugby?
Well, you've got Australian football, you got rugby, and then you got also soccer's really big in Australia as well.
Right.
Rugby, they're just badasses, and you better be willing to have broken everything to do that. Then Australian football is a little bit. It's not like rugby; it's different. But Adelaide has teams for all of these things. They have like 2 soccer teams and the whole deal. So that's the difference. Rugby is just the badasses. Des Morris, the love of money is the root to all evil. WWE booking according to their love of money rather than the love of the business equals a bad product. Rest in peace, Hulk. Des, you're singing our language, big boy. You are singing our language.
Yep.
It's all about the money.
Yep.
By the way, Vince, you have helped us become a beacon. This show is a beacon of light for the fans. Do you know how many people, and you get tagged too, so you've seen them, will send us a screenshot of, hey, I was looking to go to SmackDown, and here's how much the prices were, or I was going to go to SummerSlam. And somebody sent me a screenshot of SmackDown tickets for John Cena's last SmackDown. $8,000.
Oh, come on, Coach. Come on.
Hey, but that's for 2. That's for 2.
Oh, my. Coach, I just got a pre-order for McCartney at Coors Field. Coach, you could sit in the front row to see Paul McCartney for $700. Paul freaking McCartney. Like, come on, man.
Come on. He's no Tiffy time. Let's stop it now. Kimberly White, she's a big-time premium member for us.
Big supporter.
Love seeing the likes climbing. Can the rest of you click the like button? It really helps the BTT brand. Kimberly, thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly.
I tell you what, if we ever blow up like McAfee and we need a brand manager, I'm calling Kimberly. And I'm not even joking about that.
Yes.
Carl, the last time, see, this is where I think I see that A, and now I'm thinking curtain jerk.
Rubles.
The last time wrestling had 10 million viewership was in 1999, thanks to the legend of Vince Russo.
Wow, how about that?
What were those weeks like when you had just millions and millions of people watching?
Coach, I tell people this all the time, and you're the only one who I think can really appreciate it. Coach, did we ever have a minute to stop and smell the roses?
Not for a second.
Not for a
second.
Next show, Vince.
You know,
Vince always used to say, man, here's what he used to say, man. Monday Morning Raw, he'd put over the pay-per-view, but that was yesterday.
yesterday.
Yep.
And we have the honor and the privilege
doing it
again tonight.
Yes.
I would always enjoy the fruits of said labor at the bars after the show every single Monday and Tuesday. And when people said, "Oh, Coach, it must have been so cool to fly back on Vince's jet on Tuesday night instead of staying in Little Rock or St. Louis or Omaha so you get back and get up at 8 a.m. and do shows on Wednesday morning." Yeah, it was fantastic. It was awesome. All my buddies going, "Hey, Coach, don't know if you can hear us. We're having a great time. How are you?" Sitting next to Vince. It was the worst.
Awful.
The worst.
Yeah.
First world problems. The private jet sucked.
Ugh.
All right. Jimmy Fingers, our guy.
Jimmy. Yes.
Says, by the way, $1.48 of that A equals an American dollar.
There you go.
So that's still $20.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Still $20.
Very nice. Very nice.
Come on. We can't discount a mid-carder. We love you,
I got to show Jimmy, I got to show when I'm back on Monday, because I'm going to see the grandkids. I'm going to show, can I show Jimmy's album on here? For all Jimmy gives to us, can we promote his album on Monday, Coach?
We can, because apparently you're going to be what the WWE is right now, where you're going to pull back the curtain. We just did our own version of Unreal. I'm trying to sell a storyline.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're going to miss the show because of being pissed off at the Unreal show, and you're just like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see the grandkids, so I'll see you guys back here." I'm like, "What? I just sold for an hour. Sold it for an hour.
I killed it, Coach. I killed it.
Killing my gimmick.
K-Fame.
Killing my gimmick. Coach is a liar. He lied to us. He didn't tell us it was the grandkids." Hitesh, who we absolutely love. Hitesh is also a premium member too. He goes, "I hate how WWE says every top guy has the GOAT, as they should inform people on Frank Gotch, Jim Londos, Gorgeous George, etc. No one will have Hogan's impact." It's so hard anybody before Hogan, because it wasn't really on TV very much. It's so when you use some of those names, it's hard to equate that.
Yeah.
Because most people don't know who it is. Yeah. It really, really is. Johnny Karate.
Yeah.
Johnny Karate says, has the WWE been grooming a new style of fan base for the last 10 or 20 years, gradually and purposely phasing out the Attitude Era fan base? Love you guys. Great question, Johnny Karate. And if they are, they're getting rid of the worst or the best era of all time, Vince. The Attitude Era, when they did crazy stuff, character-driven.
It all comes down to, Johnny, it's easy to serve a fan base you already have. That's easy. They're watching no matter what. Going out and getting new fans is very difficult and not easy. So they went the easy route. They're catering to a fan base they already have.
No doubt. And a lot of the kids that are 12 to 18 watch Kai Cenat or I Show Speed or these guys that are streaming all the time. They're not watching normal TV shows or wrestling. And they got to figure out how. That's why they brought Kai Cenat and I Show Speed to the Royal Rumble to get those viewers. They did.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I Show Speed made more than the wrestlers in the Royal Rumble. I bet you.
I wouldn't doubt it. And also another. Let me put over another supporting cast on Happy Gilmore 2. Bad Bunny did a great job as the caddy.
Didn't even really recognize him or Eminem.
Yeah, great job. I watched them. I enjoyed it. I watched it over the weekend.
How many cameos do you think there were in that movie?
Oh gosh, I'd say at least 10 to 12.
You are so off today.
It's
I know the exact number.
More than that.
Try again.
50?
74.
What?
74.
It would depend what you call a cameo, though.
All right, so the wrestlers, the golfers, his family, all the people that are in his movies forever were
John
in there.
Daly,
Bob Schneider.
John Daly, yeah.
Yeah. There were 74.
Wow.
You had Eminem, Bad Bunny. It was, you had all those golfers in the
Yeah,
movie.
all those golfers.
Those
The
are cameos.
golfing announcers. Yeah.
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 I heard a story today that Nick Faldo got yelled at because Nick Faldo, who's a notorious grump in the world of golf. Do you know who Nick Faldo is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So he was telling everybody how to do their lines. So finally the producer tells Adam, we can't keep doing this. So
Yeah.
Adam walks up to him reportedly and says, and this came from Fred Couples, who did the interview. He said, best line of the movie doesn't even show up in the movie. He went over to Nick and goes, Nick, we'll all get out of here much, much sooner if you just say your damn lines. Can you imagine?
That's
Can you
great.
imagine?
That is tremendous.
This is the same guy. This is the same guy who, he worked for CBS Golf. I was there for a little bit. And he was so miserable that he wanted to work half the year. This is just 3 years ago. And so CBS was trying to get rid of him. So when he goes, I won't work half, they go, nope, can't do it. So they let him go. So they have the Wyndham Championship is the last event. And I know a few people on the staff. They were at this meeting and at this dinner. So the Wyndham people wanted to show Nick Faldo how much they loved him. He's a legend, 6-time major champion. So they call over and he's pissed. Like he doesn't want it to end. So he's at this dinner, and the head of Wyndham Hotel stands up and says, Nick Faldo, you're a legend. You're this, you're that. You've done this for us. And Nick interrupts and goes, what are you going to do? Give me 1 million hotel points? I shit you not. The guy reaches in his pocket, pulls out an envelope, and hands it to him, and it was 1 million hotel points.
My God.
They said the room was either laughing or it was so awkward they didn't want to do anything.
That is tremendous.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Great. Wow.
All right, Jimmy, I didn't read yours. We started teasing about you. Coach, did you ever hear how Vince pitched having someone join that very strange club? And as a rib, did Vince ever drop a chocolate raspberry in a talent's face as a rib? Those were weird segments. No. He didn't, as far as I know, but that would have been disgusting on every level. So let's move on to the other Jimmy Finger says, look for the duo of the Righteous from Ring of Honor 2, guys by the name of Vincent and Dutch, to join Cross as a faction. I just want Cross to be used.
Yeah, I do too.
I just want Cross to be used.
And I kind of want him to be used by himself. Let's see what he could do by himself. He don't need to be in a faction.
Yeah, plus he's got the wife, which none of the other dudes have. None of the other dudes have. It's an honor talking to both Legends and Russo. You saved wrestling from dying in 1996. I like your Livewire WWF shows. Oh, my God. I did Livewire with Shane's wife.
Oh, wow. That's crazy, huh?
She was always late. Always late. What are you supposed to say?
Yeah.
So you're just sitting in there waiting for her to walk in. Then she would walk in. I'll never forget. She's like, yeah, I just left my yoga class. This is our new move. And she'd like put her feet up against the wall and be like, can we just do our on cameras, please? I just wanted these on cameras, which she had not prepared for. So it took us forever to shoot that show. But she was a sweetheart and had no issues with it. I think this is the last one. I think this is the most super stickers we've ever had.
Yeah, we got a lot, Coach.
We got a lot. I got to go buy 2 suits. The store is waiting on me, Vince. Do you think there'll be another Attitude Era, just like in terms of an era we've never seen before that skyrockets ratings to an insane level? What do you think, Vince?
I don't think so. And it's funny, man, because who's this? Double XL. Every 2 weeks, I go back and I review the Attitude Era. And, Coach, I sit there and I'm like, this could not happen today. This would not happen today. This would not happen. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
There are so many things that I get sent to me now, and I don't know if I've just taken a lot of shots to the head or if I have – I'm being dead serious when I tell this story. I have serious PTSD because I'll tell a clean one. There's some dirty ones. I had somebody go, Coach, what was it like to work with Cody Rhodes in WWE? I go, I don't know. I was gone already. They're like, really? And they sent me a video of me in a pre-tape with Cody Rhodes and Vince. Yeah. And I didn't even remember it at all. Like,
you didn't remember me, Coach.
No,
we shook hands, Coach.
Yeah, I know, but Cody's a star. Anyway, Clap.
Oh, you're right. Silly me. Yes.
Clap Douglas. Austin over the top ropes off a Zamboni at VKM.
Oh, that was epic.
My God. I remember when I first got there, Vince, that it was so much fun to show up for work.
Yeah.
Because the company was like making so much money. I could turn in any receipt and it would get approved. And
Yeah.
it was just, it was just, but it wasn't even that. It was the not knowing when you showed up what was going to happen on the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was the best part.
Yeah.
That was the best part. And I wish we could get back to that. And you can't put it back in, what do they say? Put back in the case with social media and all that. But there's still a way of surprising people.
Well, Coach,
really
it
is.
was, forget all that, forget social media, forget all that. The way we wrote, it was organic. It wrote itself. That's what's missing. If you stay true to your characters, the show will write itself.
Got to do it. Got to do it. But you got to bring in people that know how to do it. Right now, they're so stubborn, they won't do it because they'll be like, well, then people will make fun of us because those guys were right. I wouldn't give a shit. If there were guys out there that made us look better and helped make us money, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Hitesh, The Rock pushes the annoy family members whenever he gets asked who is doing well currently. Do you think he pushes for them a little to management? I think The Rock ultimately is going to come back. I think there's a lot of the family members. I think a lot of them are over. I still feel like, Vince, by the end of the year, you're going to be correct, and The Rock is somehow going to be running the whole show.
I think as soon as he wants to, he will be. So I think it's a question of when will he want to.
I agree. Maybe I should text Brian, ask him, hey, Brian, what are you doing in November?
Yeah.
We're running a pool over here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of you who sent in the, do we have, sorry, Anthony. Do we have another one? Producer man, did you put one up there? I apologize. No. Okay, we're good. All right, Vince, I want you to enjoy the grandkids.
Yes.
Don't worry about little old me trying to figure out how to do the show while on the road on the East Coast with something else going on, but I will figure. Don't even worry about me, Vince. Don't.
God bless you, Coach. I appreciate you. You know that. You know that, Coach.
All right. We appreciate everybody at home. This has been what an unbelievable day. Every day gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Thank you, guys. That's going to do it for today. Do not forget, you can watch this show, minus the super sticker section, on the Stadium Network. It really will help us grow there, too, on Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern time. For now, for Vince, I'm the coach, producer man. We'll see you next time right here on the Coach and Bro Show.